Hey, everybody, welcome to the Monday, June 23rd edition of Co-working. I am Ron Story Jr. I am joined by Angela Lewis, and this is our daily call where we talk about how can we help you to get booked on more stages. We also give updates on what we're doing inside of Speaker Hub and some of the ways we're trying to make it easier for you. But the main goal is to help our speakers to get booked on more stages and to get paid more. Even if you don't get booked more, we want you getting paid more. So we think that your intellectual property is valuable and you should put it in front of people who value it. If they don't value what you're building, go to somebody else who does, right? Um, you know, um, yeah, that's how we look at it. So let's start off with a few wins and then we'll get into some of the future developments that are happening within Speaker Hub. And we will talk about those things. A lot of cool stuff. The summit is over, so we're back focused on product mode and building the greatest speaker tool ever invented. So, any wins over the last weekend, Jadika?
First of all, I want to say, Ron, I have to thank you for being the person that you are in seeing what it is we need in terms of moving forward. So I took your advice where you said be the authority on the panel discussion, and it worked. And so I said, every time I said, I'm thinking about Ron and what he told me, and it worked. So that was a real plus for me. And it's opening some new doors. So, like, there's some future prospects that's coming out of that. And I'm feeling more confident now in being able to step back on the speaking stage. So, thank you.
No, high five. Like, and for those who weren't here last week, they may not know what you're referring to. You want to go into detail into we had a public conversation with all of us, but if you want to go into details that brings them up to stage, I
Well,
mean, up
what
to
you were
speed.
talking about, you asked the question related to humbleness and you asked the
Hmm.
question related to arrogance. And we all made our contributions to it. And we came away with a different approach to how we've defined being humble versus being nice versus, like,
Hmm.
being the authority because we have confidence. And that's what that conversation was all about. And it was very impactful for me in terms of, because it came right before I was to go on the panel. And so that's what my conversation and my thank yous, even to all of my colleagues here on the call, because it's your energy that helps me move forward, and I'm very thankful for it.
That is super duper duper important. Janika is amazing. Her level of gratitude and implementation, like I don't know which one is higher, like the level of which she implements stuff or the level of which she's always very gratuitous about the things that we're able to provide as a community. So it's appreciated, Jadika. Um, yeah, I mean we've been told a lot of stuff. The best thing comes to those who wait. Not in the speaking business. The best things come to those who get their name out there and get more visible. You sitting around waiting, you wasting your time. Be humble. Yeah, okay. That's what somebody told me that couldn't compete. They wanted me to lower my status so that they could feel better about themselves. No, how about you? You be better, right? I would rather challenge you to be better than allow you to convince me to be humble, right? Because if I'm just talking about what I've done, you want me to lie about the stuff that I've done and tell you I did less so you feel better? Nah, work on your own insecurities. So, Janika, I think that attitude is the right way to go. If you got the goods, tell them you got the goods, right? High five, Lawrence.
Yeah. So the win that I had, following up on the note about redefining humble, I took that and started being more, I'm trying to find the best word to explain this, standing more on what I know to be the truth.
Yeah, being more
Because,
Lawrence. We're gonna call that
yeah,
being
like,
more Lawrence. Be more you. You ain't gotta
yeah,
apologize for being you.
yeah, being more unapologetic about here's who I am and here's what I am. Another one I had is I was watching through the summit and I took John's advice on mind mapping. And I just solved like 10 things within maybe 3 minutes of seeing that.
Y'all thought I was kidding. John had the goods in that thing. I was on there like, yo, show me how to do it. John's
So
session was
happy.
freaking
So happy.
incredible. And so much more ahead for you, John. I know. You just got to get more marketing. The more you start putting behind it, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you a funnel that you could run, right, on Facebook or whatever, and get people. We'll talk about it later. Remind me to walk you through this. A
Yep.
quick $7 product funnel that you could run on Speaker Hub, right? And it will put them into a $7 product. $7 is all you need to charge for it, right? If you go up any higher, you could probably get up to about $14, $15, but after that, it's going to be hard. But at $7, you can convert with that on Facebook really well.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal of running the ads isn't to get rich off of $7, it's to get leads.
Yeah.
So you may pay Facebook $7 for each of those leads, but you got the $7 back. Does that make sense? So let me
Yeah.
give you a great example. Let's say I put $100 into Facebook ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm selling something that's $10 a piece. And I sell 10 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much did I spend on Facebook ads?
$7.
$100, right?
Yeah, $100. Yeah.
But did I get it back that same day?
And then some. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the $100 back because I sold 10 of them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If I did that for 30 days, I spent $100 a day for 30 days. How much did I spend on Facebook ads?
That 3,000.
3,000. How much did it cost me out of pocket? Zero.
0. Yeah. That's dope.
Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, the thing with running Facebook ads is that they have to be, we call it the velocity of money, right? And it's a bit advanced for this call, but it's called the velocity of money, meaning that if I put the money out, how soon will I get it back? If I generate leads and I'm trying to sell $1,000 thing, it may take me 2 sales calls and a follow-up. So I may not get that money back for 2 weeks. But if I'm advertising every day, I done put $4,000 in it and I haven't even closed the first sale yet. Does that make sense? Because the velocity of the money is 2 weeks instead of the same day. But if I can find a way to get leads and to get customers the same day, and I get the money back so I can put that $100 I made today into Facebook ads tomorrow. And the
Right.
$100 I make tomorrow, I put it in there on Wednesday. And I'm just using the same $100 every day because I'm just getting it back. There are free leads,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you
Yeah.
see people say, oh, we run $50,000 a month on Facebook ads. No, they run $1,200 a day on Facebook ads. Does that make sense? But they're getting that $1,200 back the same day, so they put it back in.
Keep reinvesting it.
Yeah, but what happens is that people try to run the ads and live off the money that they're making. No, that's not how you run a business. I've never seen a business be profitable giving away samples. The samples at Mike's Philly Joe's sandwiches at the mall where they slice it up. They're not making no money off of that, but they get you to try it, to get you to stop instead of going to Sbarro. Melanie, good to see you. I'm glad you joined us for one of our calls, right? But it stops you from going down to Sbarro or the orange chicken place. What's the Panda Express, right? So we got to learn to present our products that way because the first business that you're in is the lead business. Without speaking leads, without customer leads, without consulting leads, if you don't have leads, you don't have a business.
Right.
You may as well lock yourself in the closet and give speeches to yourself because you ain't talking to nobody without leads, right? Any other wins before I get on my soapbox about a bunch of stuff? Any other wins? Any other comments from those who attended the summit? What were your thoughts on the sessions? We just got some great feedback on John's session. Anybody attended any of the other sessions that are here?
Yes, I did. It was great. I attended all 3 of your sessions. And Dr. Pam Perry and John, and I'm still going through the replays, but I attended all 3 lives and I just sent a congratulations in the chat for a successful summit. Lots of nuggets, lots of nuggets.
Yeah, the feedback on LinkedIn was great. I got a lot of private messages and different people that posted, and really amazing sessions. I'm glad. Thank you, Melanie, for your attitude and your positivity. If you didn't see Melanie's session, go watch it. Melanie had a killer session just about believing in yourself and understanding that you got all the power that you believe you got. And a lot of times we don't believe it. But Melanie, talk about showing up as yourself. She goes through this whole thing about how people told her she needed to show up a certain way. And she was like, yeah, shut up. But she didn't say that, but that's what I heard, right? Janika, go ahead.
Ron, it was another outstanding summit like the first one that I got introduced to, that like, you can just keep going back and back to those replays. This was exceptional. John, you were outstanding. And your compassion as you were sharing. And I love what you shared about how your daughter used your program and that made you a very proud dad. That was a good one.
Thank
And
you.
then
Thank you.
the other thing was Nicole. I mean, like, she just blew it out the water in terms of like, how to do stuff on the backstage and putting all that together. All of the presenters were excellent. And I think because you do the replays, that even adds to it, because what you missed the first time, you get to pick up another time. So kudos to you. I mean, in terms of like, you know your trade, and in terms of teaching and sharing information, that's what you do so well. Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're always welcome. Any other feedback on for those who attended any of the sessions? Go ahead, Denise.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Ron. I thought the questions you asked, delving into it, just asking the right questions to pull out the right answers, just awesome. Another shout out, having it pre-recorded so that we can engage with the speakers simultaneously. Fantastic.
No, that means a lot. Means a heck of a lot. We had a debate about that. Do we do it live or do we do it pre-recorded, what we call hybrid, where the speakers are in the chat, where they're there to answer questions live, but you can also go back and forth and be able to do that. The other thing we wanted to do was over the next 3 weeks, every day we have a speaker highlight. So I think we're at 86,000 people on our list. So we have that list segmented out so that all of the talks, all of the replays go back out to the list for those who didn't attend, right? And we know people are busy. They don't, Sundays they're at church, Saturdays they with the kids, Fridays they're at work, but they can always know that these talks are available for them. Yeah, check out some of the resources too. Different people gave away different resources. Everybody didn't. We'll encourage them to provide those now that the talks are going live so that you all can get the resources that were provided. But yeah, Lawrence, go ahead.
Yeah. So another thing that really jumped out to me about the summit was Melanie's. The statement of, I believe the subject was about hair and how people would go up to her and say, hey, I wish I could have my hair like that. And she's like, you can. You just got to ask for it. And they were saying, well, no, I can't. I can't pull it off how you pull it off. Well, I couldn't pull it off until I pulled it off. And it made me start reflecting on how we often know exactly what we want. We know exactly how to get it, but we're trying to measure ourselves to this perfect standard or to how somebody else does it. Like we all know how to cook, but if you're trying to cook the same way that somebody else does, you're not going to cook your meal. You're going to cook a
Shitty version of
2.0.
theirs.
What'd you say?
A shitty version of their meal.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to like copy somebody else rather than doing your thing.
No, that's great feedback. Sorry,
Hi,
Lawrence.
Ron. Why am I not seeing you? Why am I seeing myself on the main screen?
I
What's
don't know what you
happening?
did. Everybody else sees me right here. I don't know what
If
you
you click
done
in the
to your
top right
computer.
corner where that says view, you can change it.
Where's that?
Top right corner of your screen, you can click view, you can change it.
Okay, I'll go up and I'll figure it out and find it. Okay, view. Okay, good. So what do I hit on? It says,
Whichever one you want. Try the different ones
Yeah,
and see what happens.
yeah, try
okay,
it. You can't break it.
let's go gallery and see. Oh dear.
Lawrence, can I respond to what you were just saying?
Oh,
I
go
think
ahead. Yeah, yeah.
it's really powerful to be able to stand out as yourself, because I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, "Well, you just have your hair like that, so you look different and so people comment on it." I'm like, "So do you do your hair like that so people comment on it?" Because so you look the same as everybody else, and I look different, but you're saying I'm doing this so I can get comments. So I should blend into everyone else and look like everyone else so that no one comments? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So we can do whatever we want and show up as we want to, but when someone says, like you said, why do you do that? And I wish I could do that. It's like you can. You just choose. It takes courage to choose to be you, but to not fit in like everyone else. But you have to do it for your own reasons, not because you got to get people to comment on it. So yeah, I totally agree.
100%. So this is Melanie's first call with us, I think. So let's let her introduce herself. I had a call with Melanie just about Speaker Hub, and I was like, dude, I need you on the stage. Like, I'm not stupid. I know when somebody got the goods. And we were having this conversation, and I was like, let's just record it. And Ange is like, yeah, we got the speaker set. I'm like, no, we got another one. And she's like, who is it this time? I'm like, we got someone named Melody. I met with her yesterday. We already recorded it. And they were like, if you add another speaker to this daggone thing that's not on our list. So, but Melody, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I was just laughing. I told my husband yesterday, I was like, I went on a podcast thing, I think the other day, and then it became like a summit thing, and then I'm the first speaker of the summit thing. I didn't even realize that was the case. I'm like just randomly dropping myself into things. But I'm Melanie Spring, and I'm a brand muse. I help people step into who they really are by helping them write the talk or build the business or create the offerings or make the money that they want to be making by being wholly themselves.
All right. And what's your background, Melanie? Because I think that's important too to add context.
Yeah, I'm a brand strategist by trade. I've been doing brand strategy for 25 years. And I then taught people how to be speakers because they kept coming to me and saying, you don't speak like other people. You speak like yourself. How do you do that? So I accidentally started doing that for a while, and I'm really good at it. So it was really fun to do. But I realized I didn't want to be a speaker coach either. So I was just trying to blend all the pieces together. And I help people by having them come together in small groups to do retreats, and then also do longer term one-on-one work with people to help them figure out the thing that's different about them so that they can launch the thing that's theirs. Because I've been there and I've helped a lot of people do this in a way that doesn't look like everyone else's stuff. So I'm very much about being yourself more than anything else.
Oh, 100%. And one of the, again, all the sessions were dope. And here's my thought. I don't ever want any overlap, right? I want this person talking about this person talking about, I don't want competing ideas, right? I don't want someone to say, well, when such and such talked about branding, theirs was better than X, Y, and Z talking about branding. We ain't doing that. We're going to have our branding person, our mind mapping person, our retail product person. We're going to have individuals so that there's no competition. But if you use all of it, you come out better. So thank you, Melanie, for your honesty, which is always there, the transparency, the ability to make it easy for other people to have implementable steps. Like there was no drastic, here's the 17 ways to do this. No, she was just like, go be you and tell them to shut up. Again, that's what I heard. That ain't what she said.
I was gonna say,
That's
I'm like,
what-
I've never told anyone to shut up, but yeah.
That's what it means. That's you don't use those words, but it's when my daddy used to look at me like, I knew what that meant. That meant I was about to get an ass whooping. He didn't have to say it.
I'll let you be my marketing then. You can tell everybody what I do. You can say whatever you want.
There it is. Perfect. Right. Any other comments or feedback on Tradisa? I know you were at the summit. Kevin, I saw you, AJ, Leroy, all y'all was there. Any feedback on the different sessions at the summit? Cardis, was you there? I couldn't see some of the screens when I was on there. Was a lot of people. I couldn't scroll over all the screens.
Yeah, I was there for a little bit, but I wasn't there for any of the time I really needed to be there.
Oh, check out the replays, man. Check out the replays.
Definitely.
Any other feedback? Valencia, anyone else before we move on? Nope. Okay, cool. This is easy. Oh, Bonnie, go ahead.
I was just going to say I really appreciated Frank Kitchen and everybody who ever shares the fact that there was a day when they had no income and little direction and way too much to deal with. And then they end up in positions that they're in because of what they put into it. And I learned from that every time. I enjoyed. And Melanie, you know, there's a hater. There's always a hater for every person who wants to stand out and be themselves. And I loved your energy about that. John Diggs, catching you on the replay, friend. You guys rock.
That was incredible. Frank Kitchen. Oh man. So many of y'all may not know who Frank Kitchen is. Frank Kitchen is one of the top speakers in the National Speakers Association in the US. There is a designation called the Certified Speaking Professional, which only I think 400 people have ever received. And you have to do so many speeches. I think you have to do like 500 speeches. They all have to be paid. You got to make a certain amount of money per year. You got to get a bunch of recommendations and all these other things. Frank was a speaker. He was a talent booker for a university. So he understood it from booking speakers. And then someone said, man, you should just be booking people. You should be speaking. And he ventured out to start speaking on his own. And it didn't really work out the way he thought it would. But today, he is the chairman of the people who make the decisions for that certified speaking professional for NSA. So he's the head of that panel. So he's achieved it himself, but now he's the as we would say, HNIC of that speaking panel, right? I mean, I don't know what else to say. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He's the head of the speaking panel. So he talked about his progression and how he is, even though he has accomplished a lot, he's still figuring it out. And a lot of y'all met Frank on the calls. He's come on several times and shared his candid feedback. Again, he ain't complicated. He gonna keep it very simple and get you going. So check out Frank's session. Also, a lot of great sessions this weekend. Any other feedback before we get into it? Leroy, what's up?
Hi, how you doing, Ron? Let me just say, first of all, it was an amazing session. I was up until, you know, in the wee hours of the morning on my side just to listen in. It was really incredible. The speakers were amazing, all fantastic. And I love the fact that they brought their true self, because that's what is missing. Most of the people out there are fakers. And I think there was so much to take away from there. And I'm going to go back through those replays and just to drill down in all that wonderful gems they were sharing. And I'm happy I was a part of history. It was really incredible. Also, I must say a big well done to you and the team. And also for you, even though it was your platform whilst you were interviewing the various speakers, you did not talk over them. You allowed them to speak, which was really good. Most people can't do that. And as a result, we were able to get so much from the speaker. So well done for that. You had great interviewing skills, and I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. One of the promises that I made to Melanie and the other speakers is that this is your stage. I'm just somebody in the audience. I'm your one audience member that's live, and I'm just going to ask questions like I'm in the audience. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I only interview people I want to learn from. So it's really me getting free coaching, and then I just share it with y'all. It's me kind of getting a free coaching session and then sharing it with everybody else, but then paying them back with the leads. So they get everybody who attended their sessions, who registered, whether they were able to show up live or not. We give them all the registrations back so that they can now follow up and take the next steps with you guys. But it's really me being selfish, saying, teach me. Because if you can teach me, I know you can teach Jadika, Valencia, Denise, Lawrence, everybody else who I know is going to watch this down the road. So I'm thank you, Leroy, for even acknowledging that format works, right? Because I've been on platforms where they're competing with me. I'm like, dude, I didn't come on here to argue. Like, you want me to share what I know, or you want to fight? Like, what are we doing? And I always want to make that very clear to our guests that this is about you. I'm just in the background. I'm just there to facilitate, to make sure that you look the best. And high five to Raymar Also, she's not on here, but Raymar is our video editor. You know, I think something happened where my microphone went off during the conversation with Melody, but Raymar edited so that it doesn't even look like we had these technical issues. You know, Raymar does magic with the editing to make those look like a continuous conversation, because sometimes they're not. Sometimes the tech goes wrong and, you know, the camera, I think Melody's camera went off at one point or so. I think that's what it was. Like her camera switched or something. So we had to edit it so that you wouldn't tell that my mic failed and her camera went off, so that it just made it incredible. But again, thanks to everyone for attending. Jasmine, go ahead.
There's great skill in interviewing someone. You know what your platform is and you know what your platform needs. And I think you're under giving yourself not enough credit to know to pull that out, because you can set up a summit and interview a lot of people, which has nothing to do with what your platform needs. So in order to bring that out and to bring the people that are bringing it out, I thought that was amazing. That's why I watch all three of your live sessions, because I particularly want to see how this goes. And then when you went into interviewing, it's something that I know I took away a lot of nuggets from a lot of the speakers. Like I said, we will go back to the replay. So that's an amazing skill, just in case you don't understand, Ron, to do that
Thank you.
for your team. It's not about you. When you go on there, it's about your team. And I appreciate that, your platform, and I appreciate that.
100%. I got to give a lot of, you know, we mentioned the speakers, we mentioned me, but this entire production, this one and the last one, is coordinated by Angela. I don't participate in anything but the interviews. So if you enjoyed how it was produced, if you enjoyed the design, if you enjoyed how it was all choreographed, that all of that goes to Angela. So let me not take the credit, because I didn't produce this thing. I just interviewed people. Angela put everything together, coordinated the schedules, connected the tech, made sure the pages were designed, made sure the emails went out. Angela is over customer success for that reason. So I want to publicly say thank you to Ange for the summit. If she wasn't a part of it, we wouldn't have these calls. We wouldn't
We
have
could
a
see
summit.
that, Angela. We could see that, you know, from getting on and getting everybody to say where they're from. Yeah, we could see that. We know that she set it up for you to interview. So that's why I put to the team. But we already know, Angela, behind every great man is a woman. We know that.
Here we go.
We already know that, baby.
Here
we don't want him
go.
to feel anyway. You know what I mean? But we already know that.
Here we go. No, but high five to Edge. She enables me to be able to do a lot of cool things within the company. I get to focus on product and talking with our customers, but she makes sure that everybody on the team, they don't quit. I am the resident asshole at the company, so you'll be surprised how many people Angela has talked off the ledge, because they be like, we hate this dude, but she makes sure that they still get the work done and you know, keep showing up every day for you guys. So thank you, Angela. I'll say that directly to you. Outside of what we've talked about with the team, high five on a great weekend, and to many more. Angela's, why we got to bring height? Y'all don't play fair, man. This is y'all are mean. Y'all are I'm about to cry. Nah, I'm not worried about it. All right, anything else, guys? But Ange, any feedback for our few speakers that are here? But high five. But bringing up my height. Wait a minute. Melanie 6 feet too.
Okay.
John, how we feel about that at 5'5"? You know,
I'm not 5'5", but
5'4". My bad, 5'4".
I don't have a problem with a tall woman. Actually, I think it's a good look. But thinking of Kevin Hart.
All right, let me reel this back in.
Because we were about to go left real quick.
Edge, go ahead. I'll let you give your feedback to the speakers and to our guests.
I thought all the speakers were amazing. Thank you all so much for just your presence. Thank you to our team, Maria, Juliana, Raymar, Carlos, everyone who made it happen and made some last minute changes happen. So very grateful to everyone who showed up. Thank you for your engagement and your willingness to write in the chat when we asked, and to ask questions, and to push for clarity, and to ask questions to get better. So we're super grateful for the entire summit. And Ron, of course, it's always a joy with the unexpected, but we're always ready to jump in and make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, my slides, I don't know if y'all noticed, them slides get ready like 45 seconds before I turn on that camera. And a lot of that is because Maria is always fine tuning them. I get them to them early. When I mean early for me is an hour. You get them about an hour before I need them. I've already practiced with them, and I just need them to put some lipstick on it. And Angel and Maria always come through with some dope slides. So I want to do an introduction of Xavier Turner, who's a first-time visitor, and Juliet. I think this is her first time with us also. I don't want to be rude. Usually we do introductions right at the beginning. So Xavier, if you want to unmute and introduce yourself, that'll be great. Or Juliet, if you want to, if you also want to unmute and introduce yourself, tell us what you speak about, where you're from. This is the time to do it.
Hello, everyone. I'll unmute myself, but won't turn on the video because my
Yeah, you
hair
don't need
is
the
a
video.
mess right now. Okay. I'm currently in Houston, Texas, and for speaking, I speak about personal finance and wealth building.
No, it's incredible. That is incredible. How long have you been a speaker?
About a year now, and
Okay.
I'm still working on building out what that means, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, you're in the right place. You are in the right place. We are a speaker hub. We work with 64,500 speakers around the world. This is our daily call. We do this call every single day, Monday through Friday. And it usually lasts a minimum of an hour. It may go over to an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how much time we have or how in-depth the questions are. If you're new, this weekend we did the Pro Speaker Summit where we brought on 15 incredible speakers from around the world to talk about how they've introduced products, right? Most speakers only get paid from a speaker fee. We want our speakers to get paid in all ways. We want you to have products and services so that if someone doesn't have your speaker fee, they can still buy your product or service from you. So that's the focus of this year's Speaker Summit. So Juliet, be sure to check that out. I think Xavier left. I was going to let him introduce himself, but he disappeared. But it's all good. Xavier Thomas, nice to meet you. If you catch this on the replay, you still there?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
right
there it is. Okay. I saw the X. I saw the X disappear. I'm like, I think he left, but we'll
Nah,
catch you on
you're good,
the
bro.
other side. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Well, my name is Xavier. I specialize in like self-improvement content, so specifically anything self-help oriented. I started roughly around like last year, and I just got in this meeting today. I got referred by Lawrence, so thank you. I know
Okay.
we've been here, so
Oh, cool,
appreciate
man.
that.
How old are you? Are you under 22?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. We got you. You want to be one of our speaker scholars? Now, let me tell you what it is. Don't agree to something you don't know what it is. Let
Yeah,
me
I was
tell you
gonna
what it
let you
is first.
negotiate those terms.
So, we do a thing called Speaker Scholars, where we give all of our tools that we have available at Speaker Hub to any speaker that has a positive message. If you doing drill rap, we ain't gonna let you promote that. But if you rapping, if you doing positive messaging to the community to help inspire the youth or to help other people be better, we will give you access to all of our tools, right? To reach out to get on podcasts, to pitch to get on more stages, to build your speaking career, to sell your courses, all of that stuff. Everything that we have, Lawrence has access to for free up until he turns 22. Same thing for you. And I think he's referred 4 other speaker scholars to us. So anybody you know with a positive message, Xavier, they're welcome over here at Speaker Hub. I used to be you guys. I was 19 and 20, 30 years ago. And I remember trying to be the voice of positivity amongst my friends in East St. Louis, but I didn't have anyone that had a platform that could put me on. So I want to be the leader that I needed to you guys. Does that make sense? So if you go to speakerscholarship.com, you can go ahead and set that up, and then it'll ask you to set a meeting with me while I'll create all of your accounts. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. You're in the right place, man. You're in the right place. If you college students, you're a college student also?
No, no, sir. I'm definitely not in college.
Okay, all right. That's all good. That's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. I didn't know what university you was at. We got a bunch of fraternity guys in here too. I think we got Omega Psi Phi over there with Cardis. We got Iota Phi Theta down there with AJ. I represent a group called Alpha Phi Alpha. So, I mean, we got a lot of accomplished people in this room. And we got a Golden Gloves boxer over there with Kevin Hempstead. We got a former NFL player up there, John Diggs. So if you need any role models, we got a former military officer in Leroy who lives over in Europe. You need any role models from a male point of view, you're in the right place, man. We're going to help you to be all you can be. All right? Is that a deal?
I appreciate your hospitality. Thank you.
Oh, 100%, man. We got to be the leaders we needed. We didn't get to where we were without somebody extending their hand back to us, right? Cool. All right, guys, we 40 minutes in. Anything y'all want to talk about? Because I got a topic that I can talk about that I think is really important. But I want to know if you all have any questions or anything you want me to cover before I get into it.
Man, I just got a super cool email that I can share real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It says invitation to speak at a Mind Map AI webinar series. Hope you're doing well. My name is Sobaya. I'm reaching out from Mind Map AI. We would be honored to have you as a guest speaker for our Mind Map AR webinar series. 20 to 30 minutes where your expertise is guided. As a token of appreciation, we're delighted to offer a 1-year Mind Map Pro subscription. That's cool. I don't know how they heard me or where they heard me from, but to get an invite to speak at a webinar series.
How dope is that?
Grateful, brother.
High five. Now, one of the big topics that we talked about on Saturday was visibility. Most speakers are invisible. They don't. If John, I almost promise you, they searched mind mapping in LinkedIn and they saw John do a Thursday, his daily Tuesday or Thursday call on mind mapping. They look at all of his posts. It says mind mapping. He's visible. You cannot be chosen if you're not visible. Right? One of the slides I showed was LeBron James in a New England Patriots uniform. The reason that I showed that was because everybody looks for things that are familiar as humans. When we see LeBron in a football uniform, we think it's like, that's weird to see him like that. Why? Because we know he should be in a basketball uniform. So when I go looking for someone that is doing mind mapping, I want to see someone talking about mind mapping. Uh-oh, we got the queen of the universe just came in. Hey, my baby, you look beautiful. Ooh, you put perfume on it. Oh, she smells good. Wait, Rico. Okay, you want to say hi? And then Daddy got to get back to work, okay?
Hola.
Okay.
Hola, ¿cómo
I'll do
estás?
that. 1 second. I got to take out my headphones.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, tía.
Hola.
Buenos dias, baby.
Okay, you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, besos.
Ciao.
Ciao. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. So one of the things that we talked about was how do you become visible? Like a lot of us, we want to wait and see, but you got to be visible so that people can see you. If people can't see you, if they can't find you when they're looking for you, then it's a bad deal. So let me show this really quick and then we'll get to Bonnie. But I want to reinforce this. Got to find the one that Maria sent me right on time because I'll open up the wrong thing. And all right, here it is here, right? People are biased, right? When we see something that doesn't fit, we instantly judge it and we're like, that looks weird. We all have our visual biases. So when they found John, they probably were searching for mind mapping and they saw all of his content was around mind mapping, right? A lot of us as speakers, when we Google you, we don't see you speaking, right? We see you doing something else, but we don't see you as a speaker because that's not how you're showing up, right? But what we talked about really quick is that a lot of people have the Mulan problem. Mulan had the ability to be a warrior, but she didn't fit what people thought a warrior should look like. She had a visibility problem. Does this make sense? So on the outside, she didn't look like a warrior looked. So you know what she had to do? She had to hide her hair, take off all the makeup, put on warrior clothes, take off her geisha and all of that stuff, and go out and look like a warrior. And she went and she saved the town. Once she fixed her visibility, her outside needed to reflect what was on the inside. Does that make sense? So you have to show up as expected. The Boondocks, very similar. Game recognized game, Grandpa, and you looking kind of familiar right now, right? That's what you want. You want them to recognize you. Mind mappers look like mind mappers. Does that make sense? Cool. Just wanted to kind of share that because I think a lot of us, we have the goods. We're just, when people look at us, they don't see it. I used the example of the guy when I was on the call. He couldn't see me. I was on Skype. And I told him I live in St. Louis. He says, man, I heard East St. Louis is really bad. How is it for you and your family out there? I'm like, oh, it's normal. He was like, but dude, as a white family in an all black city, I would go crazy. I had to turn on my thing. I said, dude, I'm black. I had to Google myself and share the screen and show him. He was talking to a black dude. He was so apologetic. He was like, dude, I feel like an idiot. He says, I just never imagined that a black dude owned a software company. Now, this is in 2012. Right? Now, I couldn't be biased with them. I couldn't be upset with them because there wasn't a lot of black folks that owned software companies at that time. We had black folks that worked at software companies. They worked at Google and all. We were developers, but we weren't the founders. Does this make sense? So I didn't beat them up about it, you know? But it was a lesson for me that people have a bias in how they see us. So we got to show up sometimes, most of the time, the way that we want to be perceived. Does that make sense? So I wanted to drive that home because it's really important. That is evident. John just showed us evident that he talks about mind mapping. So someone found him. It wasn't something that he pitched. He was visible. Got it? Okay, Bonnie, go ahead.
Are you sure you're done with that subject? Because I have a logistics question.
Oh, no, go ahead. I mean, I ain't got nothing else.
That's
It'll come
too
back
important. It's so important. Oh my gosh, it's my biggest thing too. Be seen. I need work. Okay, so logistics question. We have two workable profile pages right now. The one we had before and the one we're building. The stuff that's in the original one, the testimonials, the signature talks, all the stuff. Do we need to move those over?
No, all of that will be migrated over.
Okay.
We're in the migration process. Anything that's in the old speaker hub, the original speaker page that you had will be migrated over.
Okay. And
So
one more
just
question.
be patient with this. It's not, we need a couple more weeks. As we mentioned, July 4th is the target date. So, but those things will be merged together, right? Some of that data is not very useful. A lot of the data that's on the old page that we ask you what high school you went to and all that stupid stuff, we got rid of that. It don't matter what high school I went to. Do I got the goods today?
Yeah.
Right. I know Les Brown never finished high school. I think he dropped out of school. That don't mean he ain't the world's greatest speaker.
That's right.
You see what I mean?
Lots of
So a lot of that
geniuses.
stuff is irrelevant if the person has the goods. But we're going to be merging those things together. Got it?
Okay, so like now I have people sending a testimonial to me, so it'll go to the old one and then later it'll be moved over to the new one by you guys.
Yep.
Okay,
The
and I
best thing
don't
to
mean
do
to be
is to
in.
make sure if you can get them to put your testimonial into speaker QR, that's probably the best way because that's going to be directly linked to that's our new testimonial feed will be speaker QR.
Oh, okay. That just brought up another question. I'm getting on a lot of podcasts and sending the stuff for the show notes to podcast people. I'm having a hard time getting them to put the links out for people to give feedback, for the audience to give feedback. I haven't had any
you
of
have
that
to
yet.
disguise it. You can't get them to put the link for the audience to give feedback. What you want is for them to, hey, I have a download that goes along with the podcast. here's the link to the download so that those who are listening, they can get the checklist that I promised them in the podcast. They can get the companion guide that goes along with it. You can't say, put this in there so they can give me ratings. No, because they know what that is. What you do, you say, hey, here's my link to the book. When they, we'll give them whatever they're looking to download at that point. Does that make sense?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, I have the freebie to download, but that can be attached to
That's
the
inside of
feedback.
Speaker QR. Yep.
Oh, I gotta go look into that. Okay,
Yeah,
one more
share
question.
your screen. Let's just do it now. If you got
Um,
if you're in Speaker Hub Pro, let's just show everybody.
I'm actually okay. Let's see how fast I could do this because I'm not in there yet. So I'll ask one more question
Take
while
your
I'm
time.
looking
Just
for it.
come back when you're ready. Put your hand back up. We'll bring it up. But
All right.
guys, inside of Speaker QR, there's a place for a link for you to be able to attach any type of download. Anything you want to, if you want to send them to a video, you want to send them to download a PDF, you want to do whatever, we give you a place where you can link anything as long as it's a workable link. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I'm in.
All right, so go
hang
ahead and share your screen. All right, so go ahead and click on leads on the left. And go ahead and click on QR. And then, okay, so you haven't created a QR yet. So that's why this
Yes,
is
I have. Yeah, I have.
right. Okay, manage your QRs over on the right. Click on that. Okay, you did. Okay, my bad.
Okay.
Click on any of those, the thank you one, the 6.
Oh yeah, I did.
It doesn't
I
matter.
was
Click
dumb.
on any of them. Click on the actual thing though. And you see the pencil over on the right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had it.
Yep. And you see right there, there's your connection. You have the subscribe page, 5 tips.
Yep.
All right. So is that a download automatically or do they have to resubscribe again?
To download with an
Huh?
email. It's a download with they put their email in, it'll download immediately.
Okay, but they already just put their email in the first time to give you the
Oh.
QR recommendation, right?
Okay, right.
So you're going to make
Awesome.
them opt in a second time?
I guess not. I have to go look at that.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So go ahead and highlight that link that's in your resource link. Copy and paste that in the new tab for me, please. So I can see what they're going to. So they already had to fill out the speaker QR. And then
Oh,
when you click there, and when they click
yeah.
get the resource, scroll down.
That's a double click in.
Yeah, you're gonna
Double.
make them opt in again. I don't think you want to do that.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that scroll back up to the top.
So I should just
Right.
put the link that goes directly to it in there.
Directly to the document. Here's another thing. Let me
Okay.
teach you a little bit about web. You want your clicks to be above the fold. You notice the fold is the first. What do I see without scrolling?
Yeah.
I got to
I'll have to
scroll down to get to your opt-in. I'm
get in.
not doing that.
Okay.
Just natural tendencies. We want to be able to put the stuff in right away. Go open up another tab and click, go to WHOP.com. WHOP.com. Yep. You see how try to scroll on that page.
Can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You see
the
the opt-in
email's
is
right
right
there.
there. It's very
Yeah.
obvious what they want you to do. Go to Twitter,
Yeah.
go to X.com or Twitter.com.
I never go to Twitter for any
Right?
reason.
Perfect. That's the perfect thing. Since you never go to Twitter, this is perfect. Watch what happens. Scroll.
Can't.
Exactly. It's very obvious what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? But they've
Yep.
already done that. That's why the speaker QR page is so simple because we didn't want people scrolling. We wanted them to put in their information and click send. So then they
Got
get
it.
stuff right away. Got it? So
Got it.
guys, if you're using speaker QR to give away something, do not put a double opt-in. You're making them do
Oh.
work twice. They're going to bail on you.
All right. I can fix both of those things. Thank you.
All right, cool.
That's awesome.
Yep. This is
Really
what
helpful.
we do. This is why we want you to come on and show it. So, because we can't be at home with you clicking, but we can when you show it to us, we can show you how to fix it. Got it?
It's awesome. So
Yep.
one last quick question. So I took the URL that went to my profile previous and I changed it to bonniebrindlespeaks.com.
Okay.
I need to put that out in some marketing stuff. Is that, will I still be able to use that URL on the new profile?
Yep.
When they're, okay.
Yep, that URL should go over. Nothing will change because we can't break. We have 4.9 million backlinks. And if we start changing those URLs, all of those links will break. So the links will stay the same. Your URL to your page, speakerhub.com/speaker/Bonnie Brundle will always be that.
Awesome. Thank you. You really kicked me forward today. I appreciate it. Hope someone else got something out of that.
Hey, we do it with hugs, man. We do it over here with hugs. So high five,
Thank you.
I have a potential recording with AJ, and I haven't rushed the book because I know what he went through. But in our initial conversation with AJ, I was putting in the speaker QR code. They get a copy of my book, and AJ came up with and we have to expand on that on the just before the podcast, expand and what you put in there so people can grab it right away. So we're not going to ask him to come on. I think he's here today, but one other time he can probably share to all of us the easiest way to get people to come on and engage with the QR code.
Yeah,
I agreed with him.
100%. And also, guys, I want to welcome AJ back. Thank you all for all of your prayers over the last week for him and his family. He had no idea. I'm a firm believer that we don't have to tell the person why we're praying for him. We just got to do it and let God handle it from there. But AJ, your community stood behind you, my boy, and they were all praying for you and your family to make it through this last tough week. Just want to let you know that
Amen.
we're here for you, my man. And that extends to everybody here, man. I mean, you all are like family to me. We spend hours every week with each other when we could be doing other things. So, we're always wanting the best for you and your families and your businesses, not just around speaking, because this speaking thing is temporary, but your family, your loved ones, those are the most important things. So, if there's anything that you need from us as encouragement, sometimes you may just need a private phone call or a hug. Hit us up. Somebody on our team will listen to you. We ain't counselors, but we are friends. We are professional friends. Let me make that, because I don't want no legal, man. He said he was he could talk to me. I ain't said I could talk you out of nothing. Don't put that burden on me. But we will make sure you got an ear to listen to. Yeah. Anything else before I think we're at the limit. I'll have to talk about it tomorrow because we're right at 3 minutes to go. But thank you for the first 40 minutes of feedback on the conference and the summit for this week. If you haven't watched any of the videos or the replays, go back and check those out. Incredible topics. Frank Kitchen, Melanie, Derek. Derek's talk was incredible. Derek runs a great business. Oh man, so many great talks. Reggie talking about how he survived prison and turned it into a barbecue sauce that's in 500 different grocery stores. And he primarily sells his barbecue sauce through speaking, which is wild. So people show up, they hear him speak, talking about his story about the sauce, and he'll sell 200 to 300 bottles right there on the spot. But he talks about how he built that business and how nothing has ever held him back. I mean, he is the Mr. Yeah, I can do it. He sent me a thing yesterday really quickly before we hop off. Somehow the city of St. Louis, I don't know if y'all know, back in May, St. Louis had a huge tornado that came through and destroyed like 5,000 homes. And for, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, Reggie set up a food truck where he just gave meals out to anybody who wanted them in those neighborhoods that was trying to rebuild. And one of the largest companies in St. Louis called Clayco, their foundation recognized him and every other person that he had put together these businesses that would help, right? And each of those businesses received a $25,000 grant from Clayco as a reimbursement for the money that they put forward on their own first. And he never intended it that. They just recognized that he was out there every day and the radio station would come talk to him. But he gave away hamburgers, hibachi. He was giving away plates, just as a way to give back to the city that has given him so many opportunities. So, great story. Go check him out. I mean, he's done some incredible things with. You talk about squeezing wine out of a rock. He's figured out how to get something out of nothing. Any other questions before we hop off for the day? Anything I can help you all with? If you're interested in Lifetime with Speaker Hub, you can now go to lifetime.speakerhub.com. We will figure it out. We'll figure out if we got to do a payment plan for you. We'll do that for you. If you want to go through the regular financing, we'll figure that part out. But we got to get more of these positive stories and voices out into our community. Thank you for all the work that you all have done on yourselves and on your own businesses. So far in 2025, we're over 5,000 meetings booked with meeting planners based on your effort and your pitches that you've sent. So keep up the good work, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Talk to you later.